Hello, hello, everyone. I'm about a minute early, so see, you can get what you need. A little bit of spring color. Got the let's see, I love those that mint, the blue. For us, it blooms now and not quite as much later in summer. It gets a little too much sun. So lovely, lovely to be here together today. I'll begin in just a moment. For real. Oh, I shaded the window and took away Max's sun. Is that a problem, Maxie? And we got all the animals in here with me today. I'll do a quick round there. Rock and Tommy the cat. And then over there is Max the cat. Mm, a little that way. Mm. Hello, everyone. I'm aLex Levin, and we're here together in Sun and Moon Yoga Studios YouTube portal. I'm in Northern Virginia. It's 10 o'clock Sunday morning, my usual time. We will not be meeting live next week. There are plenty of recordings. You can go back and dip into one of the older ones. Um, so we're taking a little break. I think there are no classes Thursday through Sunday. I think we start up again Monday the 21st. But do check our website. We've got everything listed there, all our classes, workshops, activities. There's another sound bath coming up. I've been touting those lately. It's a wonderful, calming experience, restoring, um, absorbing the vibration of instruments. Reggie Hubbard is the teacher who guides that for us. I'm not sure if this next coming up one is in Arlington or Fairfax, so check that. And I just welcome those of you who join me later, who are perhaps here with me now. Today, somebody new registered. Dawn, welcome. Anya, Nancy, a couple different Nancys might join, a couple different Lisas. Looking back at some of the names. Oh, I haven't, Mary Beth used to be a regular. Maybe you're out there watching later. Sandra, Sandy, a couple Sandy, Sandra, Nina, Patty, Brooke, Amalesh, Lincoln. So, and you familiar with that app? Is it still called Insight Meditation, Insight Timer, something like that? It shows you just dots on a map of everyone else who's on the app who's meditating at the same time that you are. Pretty cool little thing to let us know that we're in this practice together. That's um, undisputable. Well, you could dispute it, but there are others out there practicing, and it provides a support and a potency for us as well. So let's begin arriving. And so you don't have to be completely still right now, but we will go into a practice that will be start with a little movement and go down to just watching the breath. And first, though, let's do this practice of arriving. We'll arrive in center. We'll we'll go to our movement, and then we'll move into stillness for our last portion of meditation together. So I'm thinking today of the value of again and again returning as often as we need to, and we're pulled away from it so much by the senses, by our thinking, by our patterns. Um, we're pulled away from the essence of ourself, which is, I call it awareness with a capital A. You might call it At the absolute, you might call it source, you might call it God. We're never without it. It is our source, and it from it flows everything that we are. And all those things, the senses, what the senses attend to, the tastes, the thoughts, the amazing things that our thinking mind can create, cathedrals that were built, programs to help people in need, all the things that we create from ideas and from building on knowledge of mathematics, of science, of nutrition, everything. It all serves us, but it is all temporary, and it is often our feeling of that, our emotional sense can be provide challenges, but where peace and knowing and comes from is that source, that awareness. And one of the main doorways is to just stop, because everything else is in movement, is in creation, which again is part of it, but is the manifestation of it. But stop, to arrive, to feel where your feet are, to feel how your body is right here. Feel it. I feel this like a drawing in, like a turtle pulling into its shell, which is not the end purpose or goal, but to to gather the strands of our attention to right here is super powerful. We tend to get lost and start to make mm, decisions that don't benefit us as we wander too far in the material and the changing. And when we come back to right here, we more powerfully can sense the quiet, the essence of us that is without any characteristics, not bound in any way by time, and just this isness, this knowing. So like you know that knowing because through your own eyes and senses and experience, there's a sameness that was the same, is the same today as it was a week ago, as it was 10 years ago, as it was 50 years ago, however, even before you were born, your face before your parents were born, the Zen Buddhists say. Meditate on that. So, as we arrive, another couple steps that I use so often that are so helpful are breath. Perhaps as you arrived, you're sensing more and more the presence of breathing, the quality of your breath, and just to observe that. Perhaps there's some dancing with, you're engaging with it. And the invitation often is to simply do not even mess with it, just let it be, but acknowledge it, observe it, even perhaps come to love it if you don't already. Feel how it touches every part of you, even though the actual exchange of gases is localized. It moves like the wave of its force moves like a domino effect the lungs, the diaphragm, the belly organs, the bones of the hips, the ribs, shoulders, and by connection, the leg bones, the ankles, the feet, all the way to the hands, all the way to the top of your head, the back body, as well as the front, sides. So breath, ground, perhaps already without even my cue, you're sensing the ground underneath you and how it's supporting you just at this moment. Even if you were on a bus or in a car or on a boat, the ground, the solidness of that structure underneath you, and even the water, even if as it's moving, perhaps a boat or the moving car, or there is a solidity. Gravity pulling downward, levity, its partner, allowing a buoyancy. Talk a lot about that vertical dimension and how finding it through any part of our body, an outer shoulder, the hip, your big toe, your forehead, and the wholeness of yourself. This is important. And with the wholeness of your sensing and feeling, you can let gravity hold you. It becomes easier and easier to move around in space, to stand, to sit, to lie. So, breath, ground, which we feel through that gravitational field that would be very different if we were out of the Earth's atmosphere. And yet we could reorient there as well. We call it something else, maybe sensing our center. And sound. Listen. Notice what listening feels like with your whole self. A sense of it. You might find more of you getting quiet. Sense yourself as a listener. So listening connects the outward source. I'm hearing the fan of the heating system, birds outside, but the hearing, the listening is also happening in me, in my nervous system. And there's something that connects outer and inner and anchors us into the truth of this relationship, this duality and not two, not one, not two-ness. I think Suzuki Roshi, another Zen Buddhist, pointed to that. It's not one. There's a bird, there's my ear, there's me, and yet it's not two. They are together. Let's come back to breath, and I'll play with alternate side breathing. There's an alternate nostril breathing, but that will kind of be in included in here. And just push the camera angle back and move my cushion. And just sit comfortably. You might sit cross-legged, or you might sit with your legs wide, or you might be on a chair, or you might be on your bed. And I'm going to anchor my right arm and inhale, bring my left arm up, and as I exhale, tilt to the side, to the right side. Inhale back up, exhale down, inhale up, and exhale down. Actually, I'm going to change this pattern interruption a little bit differently. So inhaling and over to the side. And then inhale, change arms. One arm lifts and we tilt to the opposite side. On the inhale, we switch arms. One arm goes down, one arm goes up, and exhale, bend toward the hand on the floor. Inhale, arms shift positions. Exhale, bend. So as you lift, the arm that's lifting, imagine you're breathing in that nostril, my left nostril, and then breathing out the right nostril as you tilt right. Breathe in the right nostril as the right arm lifts. Breathe out the left nostril as you tilt left. So you got that? So it's inhaling with the up arm, same time nostril breathing in. Exhale as you bend. Exhale down that side nostril. Probably going a little too fast. Find your own pace. Now, I'm not sure I can do this myself. As you tilt, look up to the ceiling. As you come back up, just look no forward. So as you tilt, which you probably were looking just forward or even down. And so this is just a little bit of pattern interruption. If you were already doing this movement where you looking up and past the upper arm, and change it to look down toward the arm that's that's on the floor, the exhaling, the arm that's with the down with the exhale. Well, that we're bending toward that side. And so now change it again, do an opposite. So I'll be looking toward the hand that's down as we bend. A little different. So these shifts, these coordinations, disturbing the last pattern and following that nostril path too. So lots of things. The body's moving, the arms are moving, we're watching our breath. That still is an in breath as the arm lifts. An out breath as you tilt, bend at the side. And now just going to keep my face, head looking forward as I continue the motion. Go with the pace of your breath. I'm maybe moving a little bit fast. And let the breath be longer if it wants to be. Let the breath be faster. See if the breath can be the guide, the lead in the dance of body, attention. And all this is happening in the field of all of you, all of the awareness. And finally, just let the arm come down, come to a place that's easy to be still and restful. And sense what your experience is here, how you experience your whole self, which may include the bird singing, the fan of the heating system, things in this room. In a sense, we are not separate, distinct. We have qualities, and yet that which is watching, source, that isness, permeates it all. And so, with as little fuss as possible, because you might have just landed in a place that feels just right to stay still. You don't necessarily have to have any particular kind of posture. I choose to, but You could just stay right where you were. A little something for my knee. And once again, arrive as well as just taking in what energetic states you might feel, a calmness, a spaciousness, perhaps, a groundedness, a feel. The breath may feel different after that movement of our body and of our attention. Attention is what we can focus and move, and we can let it go narrower and bigger. Consciousness is, I do not consider the same as awareness. It is sort of the lens of our nervous system. So I feel it's more still than attention. It's just that mm, lens that is, in a way, mirrors awareness, but it can be, as the yogis say, colored. So our consciousness it can be oriented a certain way if we're identifying with our thoughts, with our experiences, and that's all very natural and limiting. And so when we let our attention take in more and to turn to that which is prior to the consciousness, to the awareness, to the being, it begins to shine through. We begin to be able to tap into it easier and easier, quicker and quicker, and feel that it's always there. And so let's begin our 8 minutes of meditation, stillness, silence. I will guide you a little bit with some words. Let's begin. Begin with a bow. As my teacher Russell says, enjoy your journey. We're conscious of the position our body is in. Sometimes orienting from a sense of the word I've been using a lot today, your wholeness. And the mind has a little trouble with grasping that term because the mind's job is to parse and categorize and categorize and qualify, quantify. Very important job. The mind, the logical, analytical, thinking, feeling, sensing mind, that nervous system is a subset of big mind or awareness or even of consciousness. And we can let all those functions of the mind, functions and objects of the mind, and gifts and delights and challenges, just watch them and settle into that which is watching. Rest as that. Very simple. now and again, and maybe frequently, some forms, some thoughts, some patterns. They grab your attention. You can see it, name it, and just come back over and over without fanfare, without judgment. Return. There may be a temptation to engage into what I haven't used this word in a while, concretize around the things that draw us very frequently, like our top 10. For me, there are some discomforts in the body that are persistent like that and long seated, maybe even generational. And so there's no need to figure them out or entertain this idea that there's no need to engage with them, figure them out, solve them, make them go away. Just simply turn your attention not so fully on them. It may still be there, but go to the feel of the breath and to your wholeness, which is another way of saying awareness. And it might feel like it's above you, behind you, or deep within you, permeating all. There's no need to look for it or do anything to get it. It's just here. That which is looking out your eyes, a few more breaths. And we bow or just recognize, however you would like, the end of this practice. And should you prefer to continue to sit, of course, that's wonderful. Just notice in this transition, if you're choosing to end your practice with me, just noting, taking a moment to notice and even seeing the labels that come up, or perhaps the new feeling that comes up about what's next in your day or in your week, wherever the mind and sensations, whatever is reported. So I'm very much don't push away any of these sensations, but complement it with over and over coming back to that which is seeing, that which is hearing, that essence of us. And one way that I practice through the day is just to try to remember, just to, whenever I'm doing something very simple, maybe I'm rinsing some dishes and I'm feeling the sense of the water and my own presence. And there's a sense of gratitude of in the beingness, right? And small ways, especially when the patterns are interrupted, when there's seasons and there's spring and so many flowers. So that can draw our attention, or buds that come, or the seeds that did sprout. My beets that I put right in the ground, they're sprouting. So the wonder of that, and anything, and even to come to be able to pause and really like be and look with something difficult someone's telling you, or to not to have that time of just absorbing presence in that, which is so huge. And um, so often we go into doing, fixing, or responding, which is of course natural, but when we can come back to touching into our essence, the response will be so much more from our wholeness, from the not one, not two-ness, and perhaps will give us the feeling of more harmony. So thank you so much for joining me. I see somebody's out there. So thank you so much. Again, I know that Nancy, Tanya, and Dawn were signed up to join, but it's open to everyone out there, which is a wonderful thing about the YouTube. And I will see you in a couple weeks. No meeting next week on the 20th. So enjoy the various holidays you may be celebrating, or the traditions, and springtime, or if you're in the southern hemisphere, your winter time, the noticing of patterns and then interrupting them to perhaps see from a more whole perspective. Thanks. Ciao, ciao.